Hey everyone, and welcome to Powered Cube. This is the most excited I've been for a game mode on Arena in a really long time. Honestly, Vintage Cube was the only reason I would boot up MTGO from time to time, and now we finally have more or less the same thing on Arena. First pack, we do get some power here. We're just jumping right into a BO3 draft. I did some quick BO1 drafts just by myself before recording. The cube is sweet. It's super fun. It's awesome. There's Mind Twist in this pack. I had a really dope Mind Twist deck before. I had one really disgusting opening hand where I had Mind Twist, Mana Crypt, Lotus Petal, and Mox Opal all in the same hand, and I twisted for 4 on turn 1. That was ridiculous, but we're going to do the very straightforward thing and just take power. This can go in any deck. It's fast mana. Believe it or not, the best deck for Mox Sapphire is Mono Red. Or it's just colorless acceleration. Alright, what do we got going on here, though? Nothing jumps out to me as fantastic. Reanimate is really good. Reanimator, the strategy, I don't think is as good in this cube. Compared to Vintage Cube, we're actually missing Shallow Grave and Corpse Dance. Some of the cards for consistency, so it's a bit tough. It's still probably the highest card on power. You can also play this card fairly, because it's just 1 mana, bring back a creature that already got hit by a removal spell. Yeah, none of these jump out to me as crazy. I could take Stoneforge and pick up equipment. It's cool to get Stoneforge early, because you know that you can look for equipment. I think Reanimate's just a little bit better on the power. Oh, though I do like Stoneforge a lot. Let's do Stoneforge, because we're getting it early. We know we can look for equipment. I think White Aggro is also like very, very good. This cube, also compared to Vintage Cube, is just missing a few combo pieces. Like I just mentioned that some Reanimator pieces are missing. There's some Storm pieces missing. So Fear decks are overall a little bit better, to the point where I got the brain rot where I think Red-White Aggro is the best thing you could build. Glorybringer is an absolutely fantastic card, especially when you have some fast mana. Now, don't take this like I just hate blue that much that I'm immediately pivoting from blue. There's no great cards that keep me in blue here. Force of Negation is, of course, good interaction. But I would need a reason to be in primarily blue in order to play Force. So I think for now I'm going to pick up Glorybringer, which is sincerely one of the best red threats as a hasty removal spell. I'm picking up a lot of packs while I explain here. Oh, dang, we got all more Reanimator pieces. Alright, someone's gonna have a sick Reanimator deck, unfortunately. So I guess that's the little bit of the punish for not taking Reanimate. I don't love Sword of Fire and Ice, honestly. This is probably one of the worst hits for Stoneforge Mystic in the cube. I think this is really slow. It's not as explosive compared to like getting a Cauldra, and it's not as good of an equipment compared to like a GTA, so I think I'm gonna pass on it. Unless there's nothing else for us here, right? I could take Persist, but the thing is, whoever picked Reanimate is going to get one of these two, whichever one I don't take, so I actually don't want to take them at this point. Could just take this. Could take Staff of the Storyteller as well as card draw if we end up in Red-White Aggro. Quantum Riddler is also just a very good card. I'm going to take Quantum Riddler. It's very high on the power level, and I'm still very open on like what deck I play. Wasteland is very strong. Bonecrusher Giant is really good if we do want to kind of force a Red-White Aggro. Same with Reprieve. These are two good cards. Like I could take Bonecrusher, try to wield the Reprieve. But Land Destruction is very good. I think I will take this. Because even if we don't end up in Red-White Aggro, if we end up in a controlling pile with Quantum Riddler, we can still play Wasteland. All right, what we're looking at here. Elite Spellbinder is a good card in my opinion. This is a good piece of interaction here. Taiga is good if we want to play in the green colors, but unfortunately we don't have any green cards yet. We could look to pick up green cards because deck I really like building. I built it in some of the mock drafts we did on Discord before the cube went live, is like Ice-Tail Explorer style strip mine decks. And Wasteland is pretty good too, but it's not quite strip mine. There's a lot of basics running around in cube. I think Spellbinder is going to be the best. I gotta go a little quicker. I'm holding up the packs. Usually when I draft by myself, I'm very quick. It looks like a lot of red and white cards are being passed around, which is pretty good. It means it's quite open. I think we might just take the Fixing and commit to red-white at this point. These cards aren't great. We're actually going to wheel one of them last pick, probably. I'm going to take the Fixing. We got a Batter Skull, fantastic. Yeah, this is a lot better with our Stoneforge. This is also reasonably hard castable. Winds of Abandon is also decent, but we know we're red-white. Yeah, removal spells are good, but I do like Batter Skull. Oust is a great removal spell. Wow, we got all the good removal spells. Okay, so if multiple white removal spells are coming around, Oust and March. March is kind of bad, but House coming around, Pyrokinesis is coming around. It means this archetype's got to be at least a little open. Let's grab it. Notably, that was pick 9. That was in my pack 1. I didn't pay too much attention to the pack 1 beyond the mocks. So I'm surprised that wheeled, because that's like P1, P1able. Like, I could see myself picking this at pick 1 if it's a weak pack. Yeah, and this was one of the packs that we tanked about. Nothing for our red-white aggro deck, though I don't remember this pack being too exciting. I'm gonna just take the Mind Collapse, put it in the sideboard. I never end up playing that card. I don't think it's good enough. Nova Hellkite, sure. Grab the Staff of the Storyteller, came around. See, look, this persisted wheel. Interesting. But there's some Reanimator player, whoever decided to build it is going to be very happy. We're going to take the card in the color, though I think this is bad. We're going to avoid playing it if we can. We could do Blood Raid Health if we somehow end up switching our colors a little bit. And maybe we end up with Blue Splash. That's good. Okay, oh my god. Soul Ring or Broadside? Is it crazy that I actually would consider picking Broadside over Soul Ring? Soul Ring is very busted, though. So we're going to take Soul Ring, but Broadside Bombardiers is about as good as a piece of power in this particular red-white aggro deck. Broadside Bombardiers is the #1 red card I want to have in my deck, and it's a real shame we don't get to have it, but like, Soul Ring, dude. 2 mana of acceleration, meaning that we can cast like a Glorybringer on turn 3 without any further acceleration. If we naturally draw the Batterskull, we just cast it early. That is just crazy stuff. And we've good stuff to wheel, right? Broadside probably won't wheel because the power level is insane, but we're probably going to wheel the Burst Lightning or the Courier or maybe even Esper Sentinel. Okie dokie. What are we looking at? Ah, that's pretty nice. We also just take a 1-drop. We had a few more fetches. We could even think about Renin 6, though we ended up not taking Tithe a while ago. So if we had like that Tithe, if we picked that up and then a fetch land, you could think about splashing Renin 6. So I think this card is very, very strong. If you could support it, we're just going to take removal here. Very straightforward. Hopefully we can wheel this 1-drop. Alright, ooh, Cauldra. Great. Do I try to wheel Cauldra? Because I also really want to take Flage. Flage is pretty good in my deck. We do have the Stoneforge for the Cauldra. We have a lot of mana acceleration. Like, we already have 2 pieces of mana acceleration that can cast it. On-color fetch is also pretty nice, though our mana color requirements aren't going to be too crazy in this deck. We already have advantage. Let's take Cauldra. Flage can be a little tough on the colors if we aren't getting fetches. So we can get Sunbaked Canyon, Monastery Mentor, Get Lost, and Bolt. Wow, these are all very good. I do need some amount of fixing, guys, but like Bolt is a very desirable playable. Get Lost is also quite good. Bolt. I do really need to start grabbing fixing. All right, sweet. Gideon, dude, turn 1 Soul Ring, turn 2 Gideon. I want to live the dream. All right, Sage of the Skies is also like really cool with the fast mana. It's very easy to double this up. If you have the Mox or the Soul Ring, hopefully this wheels because this card is usually pretty bad. Like, I usually don't like picking it. But we have 2 playable pieces of power. Alright, oh, Mana Tithe. Mana Tithe, that's a fun one. Fun card alert. Goldspan Dragon's also like a cute top end, kind of similar to Glorybringer, except it's not removal, but we already have Glorybringer and Nova Hellkite, so I don't think we need a 3rd stupid dragon. You get too many 5-drops. It becomes too much at a certain point. Wow, Plateau, Arena Glory, Ragavan, come on. This pack is, I want all these cards. I'd take the Magda too. Like, I would take this whole pack. Because Arena Glory is a free roll in our mana base. We're going to have so many mountains. Plateau is very good. Ragavan is a very broken magic card, though. Oh, but I really would love to have a fetchable Plateau. That's a tough decision. I'm going to take Ragavan because it is the best 1-drop for our deck. It is quite close. Here we could take the Philia, or we can take the Virtue of Loyalty. I do like Virtue of Loyalty, especially with all of our mana acceleration that we have. Esper Sentinel did wheel from this pack. Notably, we had some other red cards that didn't come around. Just the Esper Sentinel did, though. I won't complain too much. Broadside got taken, unfortunately. I would have loved that Broadside. And I don't think we have too much exciting wheeling in these packs unless we get like very, very lucky. Like, there were some decent cards for our deck, but I wouldn't expect them to wheel. Oh, Flitch, cool. We do need to work on the mana for Fledge. Like if that Plateau Wheels, that would be insane, but it would be going pretty much the last pick is a very good card. What's neat is we're really strong on playables with 18 non-land playables if you're counting our artifact acceleration as lands, which I probably would in an aggro deck like this. All right, oh, the loss came around. Yeah, we're gonna have so many playables. Maybe I should have just taken the Plateau over the Ragavan. I take this card out because I'm probably not gonna have the blue mana. I technically have a Mox Sapphire, but I really would want fetches to enable this. All right, oh yeah, Sage of the Skies came around. Cool. I will play it in this deck, especially if I get like one more artifact mana. He's always asking for more power. I got 2 in this draft, which is awesome. I wasn't this lucky in my other drafts that I've done individually. And yeah, we could take a big stupid dragon or maybe a Savai Triome. Just in case I get a fetch land and no other fetchables. I don't love this though. This probably lives in the sideboard, but I don't need another 5-drop. I have too many. I have enough. Like I might move this Batterskull to the sideboard. Wait, Lotus Petal is pretty cool. Windswept Heath as a partially on-color fetch is also sweet. Beza is a card we can wheel. Same with the Overlord. I might just take the partial fetch. I could also take Lotus Petal. Petal is a bit less good than some of this other artifact fast mana, but it can help. Do I really want or need Petal? I'm torn between these. If I had the Plateau, I would definitely pick the Heath here, and it would be very straightforward. I could definitely see both of these being correct. I'm going to take the Petal, especially since we have some cool cards like Sage of the Skies that it can help enable. It probably doesn't even go in a land slot, by the way. No, we're really looking for mana fixing if we can get it. Fury is sweet, though we actually are mostly white. We're kind of just splashing red. We're splashing it for really good cards like Ragavan, though, so can't complain. It's Mom or Ocelot Pride here. I think Mom is better in a vacuum, even though this is a very busted Modern Horizons card. And what you got? We got Flame Slash, and a Fire Blast, and a Thalia. Wow. Good stuff. Do we have enough removal is my question. We got an Oust, we got a Path to Exile, we got a Bolt, we got a Fleet, we got Get Lost. Yeah, we don't necessarily need the removal. Thalia, I think, is going to be better, especially since we're playing best of 3 in this draft, and best of 1, maybe I would go with the Flame Slash, but in best of 3, we got the Thalia. Thalia could maybe even live in the sideboard. Same with this Portable Hole. I think it's going to live in the sideboard. The Showdown of the Skulls is crazy. It was really good top end. I'm going to wheel it. I'm going to take Portable Hole as removal to be disciplined, and I'm going to wheel the Showdown because I'm pretty sure this will wheel to pick 12. It's 2 colors. It's very unlikely someone else is going to take it, and our colors have been quite open. All right, there's a Badlands and a Scrubland. That is not technically our colors. And there's another removal spell, though it's not a great one. Pretty much just shock in our deck. I don't think we can realistically enable this. Are we gaining anything by splashing black? No. I will take the Gallic Blast, though. Just think about it. Yeah, we didn't get mana fixing because I was a greedy boy. Greedy, and I did not take my plateau earlier. Oh. What I get? We have like amazing non-lands in this deck, though. This is really the only playable card in our colors, though realistically, we don't have the colors to support it. Okay, Elegant Parlor, that's pretty nice. I will take that. I'll play it over the Savai Triome. Yeah, we don't get fetches here. Wandering Emperor, very strong. This card is quite good too. With all the fast mana we have, we can double spell quite a bit, and all these ones. Wow, so many ones. Yeah, usually I'm a bit down on this Cosmogard Zenith, but I will take it. Usually I take the Emperor more, but we actually do have so much cheap stuff. All right, cool. You can take Touch the Spirit Realm, Ghostfire Slice, or Beza. Wow, I was only expecting Beza to wheel. I think Slice might be better. No, let's actually take this. This is a good way to recoup the card advantage after we like spend cards on things like Lotus Petal. All right, Lightstone Inquisitor. Wow, so many playables. The deck building part is going to be hard. I'm going to have to cut and figure out how to do it. We're white splashing red here, so I don't think we could do Fire Blast. But I love it. Hazoret as well. One of my favorite cards ever to play with. Wow, we got all the bangers here, except Broadside, unfortunately, but I'm never taking Broadside over Soul Ring. All right, did we wheel? Oh, we didn't wheel that Showdown of the Scalds that I wanted. It was the Hazaret pack. Someone took it over Hazaret, but that's okay. We have enough like expensive stuff, especially since we wheeled this Beza. All right, so if we count our artifact fast mana as lands, which considering we also have a wasteland, you shouldn't count all of them. These three together probably count as two lands, if I had to say. And we're white splashing red, so let's just cut those red sources. We would need 3 cuts. So I'm gonna think about this a little bit and get back. All right, I thought about it a little bit. I think these are the worst cards in the deck overall. Staff of the Storyteller is just a little bit slow sometimes, and you have to draw another token card in order to enable it. Gallop Blast is just shock. We can bring it in against very low to the ground creature heavy cards, and Nova Hellkite is probably the worst of our 5 drops, in my opinion. It's also double red, which is a little bit difficult to cast. In our deck, we didn't get an amazing amount of fixing. We are only running these 7 red sources, 8 if you count the Lotus Petal, which just put a bit of strain on the mana. I also thought about removing Flage for the same reason, but we can keep Flage in and flex it out for a lot of our sideboard cards. There's a couple of cards here that I would say are quite cuttable depending on the situation, which is awesome. We do have a pretty functional sideboard. We do have Thalia for playing against combo decks and unfair decks, and then we do have a lot of removal to bring in. We could also just bring in extra dorky creatures if we really just need to turn things sideways and race. All right, game 1. This isn't ranked, by the way. Just the new update shows ranks. I'm silver because I don't play ranked limited very much. I play BO3 like this. We're up against Tombhead, who I guess is another BO3 enjoyer in bronze, and got turn 1 Soul Ring, baby. Let's keep it. We don't quite have the double red for Glorybringer. This is going to be fine. Keep 7. This is a little bit tricky, because I want to go plain Soul Ring here, right? And play Lotus Petal, holding up the Mana Tithe, but if I use the Lotus Petal for the Mana Tithe, then I cannot cast Hazaret, which is rather tricky to say the least. I am gonna still play the Lotus Petal. Very cool Soul Ring sound that they added. But I'm really gonna think about this Mana Tithe. We gotta think about this one before we just shoot it off. The Bailmerk can resolve. This doesn't immediately put pressure on the board. All right, Flage, another red card. This is actually really tough in terms of mana. Wait, this is terrible. Because if I play my Hazaret, it does nothing. Hazaret cannot attack or block unless I get Hellbent. I cannot get Hellbent with red cards in my hand. This is actually tragic, and I'm not sure what to do. I don't think I'm supposed to mulligan the Soul Ring hand. If I draw a single red source, I'm kind of off to the races because I can play a Glorybringer. I think here we just hold up our Tithe. We tithe this Lelia or whatever comes down. My opponent's on the 4+ color slop, so they might have a little trouble casting their spells. They might not saturate their mana for a 3-drop, unfortunately. If they play something else, I'll just oust it and try to Mana Tithe them again later. Okay, just nothing. Sure. Ew, ew. Ew, guys, this didn't work out well. Yeah, this Soul Ring guy, huh? I mean, I'm gonna play the Batter Skull, and I'm gonna get some pressure on the board. I don't want to just sit here and pass again. Holding on Mana Tithe and hoping. My opponent's a little stuck on mana. I could play my Batter Skull. Hopefully this isn't representing like a counter spell. Hopefully not a memory lapse that puts this on top of my library. That's the cool part about Soul Ring that I mentioned during the draft, is that like Batter Skull is very, very hard castable in this deck. We do need a red source to show up, and now I'm getting haunted for like not drafting a plateau when I could have. And now I could have Mana Tithed that Lily. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. New creature, new creature. We can equip it as well. Equip 3, equip 5. 3 is return it to your hand. All right, got it. I will probably bounce Batter Skull to my hand, but we can hold up Mana Tithe and see if we can get a saucy Mana Tithe here. Every Mana Tithe is saucy, by the way. Yeah, it's saucy. All right, they discard me. I attack. Doing okay here. I'm going to discard Glory BZ over here because we were a little short on the red mana. Liliana's going to help us get ready for Hazoret. As soon as I draw red mana, I want to be able to play this Hazoret and attack with it. Oof, that is a horrible draw. Oh no. Guess who screwed up his Soul Ring draft? I did. Am I supposed to do this? I can't bounce Batterskull if I do this. I'm pretty interested in playing Batterskull next turn if I hit my land drop, right? Actually, I'm pretty interested in ousting this Belmerk next turn. So I will do this. I'll spend the mana here so it looks like I have late interaction. I'll make the 1/1. Alright, we're probably ousting this guy. If we draw a red source, we can immediately slam Hazoret or Flage, which is awesome. It's just gotta happen. Alright, opponent's got a Soul Ring of their own, of course. Do they have Lilia mana? Of course not. That's the price of greed. Alright, okay, cool. Virtue of Loyalty, that is a good card. One more mana source and we can hard cast the other side of it as well. It's good. Here I'm not going to pay because I just want to make this 2/2 knight. The sad part is my opponent can just like recast this Balemark, which is a smidge problematic. Hopefully we can get the beat down on. If we draw any mana source, we can play the backside of Ritual Loyalty, which is really strong. Alright, my opponent is just chilling. Hopefully they have all red cards in hand or something. Okay, Wasteland. You know, I can Wasteland them off of colors, which is really cool. I cannot Wasteland them off of being able to play Balemark, unfortunately. That is 5 mana to equip as well, which is dope. But we will go ahead play the Virtual Loyalty. Could equip this Batterskull. Get saucy. I might equip the Batterskull into my Vigilance creature next turn. That would completely dominate combat. Assuming my opponent doesn't have removal, but if they haven't been using removal and they're drawing a Balemark here, it's very likely that they continue to not have it. And then we can, if we draw more mana, fire off the Wasteland. I'm very interested in Wastelanding them off of colors before they do something silly. Yeah, their mana is ambitious. I'm going to go ahead and say that. During Curiosity, Lelia rotting in hand, this is very ambitious. Alright, opponents picked up a Shieldred. I picked up a Mountain. That's good. Okay, a couple things can happen here. Either it cannot attack. So I can attack with the boys, and then go ahead and attack with the boys, and play something like Hazard or play Flage after combat to hit the Balemark. If I do that, I can also Wasteland them, which is dope. We will be ready to escape Flage as soon as the second red source showed up. Or we could just equip our Batterskull here. I think just equipping the Batterskull is pretty good right now. Put it on our Vigilance creature. This is gonna dominate combat. Until removed, which they don't have, and they're not showing. I'm gonna go ahead and Wasteland them. Oh, I can't wasteland them off blue, of course. I got Timeless Brain Rot. I'm thinking I'm stripping them. I almost said stripping too, and I stopped myself and I said I'm gonna wasteland that. It's still worth to trade for mana here since we have 5 lands. Or 5 mana. And all of our colors. Wonder what they're actually playing in green. We haven't seen it yet. Alright, Lelia can be played, though it won't do anything against this knight. Shieldred can be played, and it might just end up blocking my knight, which wouldn't be the end of the world. I think what I do next turn is I attack with everything, and I use Flage to finish something off. We can go ahead and equip their Shadow Sphere as well, just for a little lifelink. Attack with everything. Am I boned if they Lelia? No, because Ritual Loyalty has a lot of flavor text on it, and it untaps all my creatures. Awesome. Yep, we're chilling. I mean, they can attack out of desperation if they want to here, but they're going to lose their Balemark. Probably thinking about it, because they can hit something in their deck. I draw a card, lose some life. Ooh, Gideon, that's a cool one. Okay. I'm probably going to want to play him after combat if I don't have to flage. I should have to flage. They could block in a way. Hmm. I'm going to leave one of these back. I'm going to leave. I don't want to do this. I'm going to attack with you guys. Because if I attack with both of these, they could have taken the 8. Taken the 8, blocked both of these, and then I don't get a clean kill at my flage. Now I get a pretty clean flage kill. Let's like pretend we have a mana tithe, right guys? That we already mana tithed them, didn't we? Awesome. Alright, so even if they Lelia, we can block it here. Lelia, they can equip. I mean, it would be a trade, so I wouldn't be exactly upset about this trade. We can then play Gideon and just start zeroing him over and over again. And hopefully that would slowly take over the game. Saga, nice, nice. That is actually a very good card for them. My opponent is Saga Gaming. We both have a crap ton of life. I'd love to draw a red source. That would be my Christmas gift. But I will be very happy to just like repeatedly zero a Gideon with a virtual loyalty or circular loyalty, whatever it's called, in play. If we draw a cheap spell, we can double spell with Sage of the Skies, which is awesome. So all of my stuff has pseudo vigilance as well, which is dope. Might be tough for them to beat if they don't find removal for the Gideon or the Virtue pretty soon. Because yeah, Saga can do some crazy stuff. It can make some big artifacts. You could tutor something under their deck, but I will be able to outscale them. I'm at 36 life. It's not like they can really race me. We're not close to decking, right? 23, 16? Nope. Not even close. All right, Trigonautics. This can give everything haste. Yes, sir. That's a large lad. All right, that's a big boy. They put the Shadow Spear on him. That's a problem. Oh, that's a big boy. They can give him haste. That's also kind of a problem. I will chump it. I will chump it this turn. We don't need an answer to this, guys. What are we doing? We have a lot of white removal in our deck that could show up. Just drawing more creatures would also help chump it, but Shadow Spear, it's a card. All right, what we can do here is we can Esper Sentinel. This is if it is the second spell, or any spell after the first, actually. We get the copy. And then because I'm pretty sure they're just going to equip Shadow Spear and try to trample my Gideon, I think what I want to do here is just minus my Gideon, get the Anthem. And then I will have these flying lifelinkers, and I think my opponent can't kill me. Because if they equip this Barrowglyph, it's going to mill 8 cards, and they have 15 left in their library, right? So I think we actually just, like, win this game. My opponent simply cannot damage me without milling themselves out, which is funny. Of course, they could draw another big stupid card, but I'm at 36. I have 8 power of flying lifelink. I have a Flage in my graveyard ready to escape. I got Hazard ready to be slammed. Like, oh, by the way, I can just block with this Hazard all day. If I draw, like, a land or another spell I can play next turn. This Hazard can just be on blocking duty forever, indestructible, kind of just chumping some of the damage. Though I want to take 7 damage, make it 8 from this Barrowglyph. Death! Death! You paying the 3? They are paying the 3. They will again mill 5, unfortunately, and this is another one, like, they're going to mill 4 cards every time they attack. Like, I do not think they can kill me. Yes, please damage me. Oh, it's a you may. Oh, crap, that is a may trigger. I still take the damage anyway. It's not like I really want to block it. I guess I could have blocked at my 4/5s to stop this from scaling, but this is also, my 4/5s are also scaling. I put Batterskull on one of the 4/5s and just like race him. Okay, cool. Yeah, now I can play Hazoret. Also, Escape Flage. Escape Flage. What does that accomplish, guys? Flage would become a 7/7. That's pretty cool. Escape Flage hit you. You want to get your dragon? Sure. Right, so I gained some life. I gained some life. I mean, yeah, I'm at 40. I don't think my opponent can kill me. Oh, they also chose to mill with Barrowglyph, which I didn't even realize. Whoops. You gonna pay the 4? They can off the Soul Ring, which is funny. Oh, no, I get the draw. Thank you. Alright, pay me when I sacrifice Esper Sentinel. Anything else? Mr. One Card in Library? Do they know? Okay, Inti for trample damage, but that's not enough. With a Soul Ring, sure, but like, Or, yeah, equip Shadow Steward Soul Ring. Doesn't do anything. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna mill out here, so I guess this is them giving up. There's Gristle Daddy right there. Okay, so we do get to see their whole deck. They persist, Entomb. Oh wow, they have Entomb. Entomb, Necromancy. They had Life and Death before. I think it got exiled. Right? Am I remembering an earlier game where someone, oh yeah, they had Life and Death for here. Okay, cool. Alright, Persist, Treasure Cruise. Their mana is kind of ambitious, but the core of their deck is pretty good. Yep, so I'll just pass the turn. You deck. Okay. I don't have Graveyard Hate. Pretty sure my sideboard. I said I had a functional sideboard before. I was lying. They did have a fair amount of non-creature spells, so we can at least like play Thalia to tax it. We probably don't want to play as much like red removal, like Flage. We do need to make sure we're playing all the paths, all the ousts. We're playing the Get Lost. We're playing all those in the main deck already. Good. That's the what can hit their big reanimate targets. They're also sideboard out Mana Tithe that they've seen it, which is something I like to do, which is really funny. I just got the Flage. Alright, this is a reasonable hand going second. We have the removal to contain them. I'll take it. I'll ask pretty much anything they play. You get to play one drop too, that's awesome. Was not expecting that gift. The dream would be drawing fast mana, right? You can always get lucky and draw your fast mana. I'll go ahead and make a 1/1 here. Yeah, make a 1/1. Alright, Dak Faden, you got it. The greatest thief in the multiverse. Go ahead and loot. They may very much be dumping a Gristlebrand here. Let's hope they don't, right? I think it was just Gristlebrand. I'm trying to remember what other really good reanimate targets they had. They have this Draconautics too, which is actually very good. I can Wasteland them off the Blood Crypt, which is actually like very good. I do really want to do that. They do have black fixing off the Chromatic Star, but it is one-time use. No refunds. I'll take my counter, please. Because we did that, notably, we can't like oust plus siege next turn, copy it up, but like such the price. My opponent has some very, very messed up black spells in their deck, and I would much prefer if they didn't have the black mana to cast both Entomb and Reanimate. Hey, chillin', nothing going on. We like it when nothing's going on. I'm not gonna play the Sage. especially now that I have Mana Tithe available. Go ahead, and since they don't appear to have removal, I'll just keep putting counters on this. He says as they bolt it. Oh, nice. 5 damage. Oh, this guy's going far, huh? For a 1-drop? I mean, I only spent like 7 mana on it, so... Come on, 4-drop, 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 4-drop. No! Come on, play 4-drop. Come on, do something stupid. I'm not gonna pay. You're big enough, okay? I want to maybe play Sage of the Skies post-combat if I Mana Tithe here. I love Mana Tithe, I love Mana Tithe, I love Mana Tithe, I love Mana Tithe. It's such a good card. Oh, give me the copy. Yes, please. And that's lethal on board. Oh, I love Magic. I love Magic the Gathering, guys. It is an awesome first game to get on video. All right, match 2. We're on the play. What we got here? We do have a piece of power. It is colorless, so it doesn't ramp us too perfectly. Actually, it's kind of useless. It is quite useless, in fact. Are we still keeping this? Turn 1 Esper Sentinel or turn 1 Mom on the play. Mom is the much more obnoxious option, in my opinion, especially for the aggro deck. I'm gonna keep this. Just a little sus, I would say. Just a little sus. I'm gonna play Mom. I'm gonna play the Sapphire out just in case my opponent does have a way to interact with it. You know, their own Mana Tithe, discard, whatever. Yep, and Mom forces removal. That's why you always want to play this card first. And we are a luck sack, of course. I'm a lucky player. Everybody knows that. Lotus Petal will help us power out this Hazoret. That's great. All right, lucky player coming through. Nothing new to see here. Esper Sentinel taxing them is going to be fantastic for us. Yep, they're going to pay two mana to remove our Esper Sentinel. That's fantastic. All right, my opponent is down 2 pieces of exile removal. I'm just going to go all in on the Hazard, even though she can't attack for a turn. We're going to get this down around counterspells, and if they have 3 pieces of exile removal in their opener, then you know what? Good for them. They did a good job drafting. They deserve to beat me. But here, I can go ahead and do this. I can get lost. I cannot get lost the portable hole. It is not hit artifacts. So I will play this boy. And then I guess Hazoret is just not doing anything for another turn, and I will remove whatever they play. And hopefully Hazoret will do something next turn. Oh, come on, opponent, do something. I could remove my own 1-drop if I really wanted to enable Hazoret, but I think that's a little loosey-goose. But what I think I will do at this point is I will throw Path to Exile at them. Or throw Get Lost at them. Get Lost is more flexible. It hits Planeswalkers. I'm very afraid of like a 5-mana Teferi. Actually, yeah, I'm very afraid of a 5-mana Teferi. We are going to throw... Is that a throw? Guys, am I spewing? Is this a bad idea? It's worth 7 damage. I think it's fine. It might have been a very poor decision, though. I'm gonna be honest. It may age poorly, especially if Hazoret does get answered right here. Wow, they do have March. March on 4. Okay, so Hazoret at least took a card out of their hand, but I'm not happy about that. I lost a removal spell for honestly no good reason. And my hand was very like reliant on getting this Hazoret into play early and having it do something. We are 1 mana off of making Glorybringer pop off though. That is very good. Let's go ahead and make a spirit, go a little wide. We're gonna get lost, whatever they do. The Wrath of God, sure. Sure thing, buddy. Glorybringer time! Awesome. So they got 3 turns to answer my Glorybringer. Just kidding, they get their own. Fine. Whatever. You get your own Glory, DZ. It's just how it is. Caracas is also going to be going, no, my Mana Tithe! Boo! Boo. All right, I think we do lose this one, folks. Ooh, I was so close to mana tithing it. Dang it. I guess we clear the Grave Titan. I think we lost. I think we lost. Ooh, Better Skull dies to Glorybringer. Yeah, nice to Glorybringer. But I mean, let's play out the rest of the game, right? Force them to exert this, and then maybe I draw a card that I'm forgetting about in my deck. Wonder my token, sure. Okay. You know what? Well played. Let's get out of here. Good game. Okie dokie. Control Andy, we got Grave Titan on top. It's a pretty slow deck. So we don't necessarily need like the removal spells for small creatures. We don't need the Galv Blast, the Flage. You can almost consider cutting Bolt. We had like more aggro threats to bring in. You can bring in Nova Hellkite, but I'm really worried about mana. Like we've had a little bit of mana trouble with this deck because we just, like didn't get fetches, and that's on me for drafting a little greedy. Like we have all these playables that aren't in the deck, and we got no fetches, and I had the opportunity to pick up like the perfect mana at some point, and I just chose not to. Yeah, let's keep like Path to Exile Oust in because they do have like big fatty payoffs. They do have Grave Titan in their deck. So we do want to make sure we draw our exile removal when it does show up. We could do something like cut Batter School. Well, it's just an efficient card that turns sideways, honestly. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this deck. Let's run it back. Alright, on the play, what we got? We got Thalia on the play. We love Thalia on the play against control decks. Library, uh-oh. Well, the good news about Library is that this is going to be a very slow start for them. And Thalia is really going to mess with them. They're going to have a lot of trouble actually playing spells unless they tap their library here. Mana Tithe gets really sucky because, well, A, it costs 2 mana, and B, they're going to be incentivized to constantly keep this library up and able to activate. We have to discard here, which is awesome. Yeah, they couldn't cast it because of Thalia. That's dope. Great. Alright, besties, what are we doing? We're going to attack here. I'm going to do search the Knight on their turn. And maybe I get a saucy Mana Tithe, maybe. It's very unlikely, though. They would have to tap their library to cast the spell, which they might do with 9 cards in hand. They might decide to cast a 3-drop or, a 2-mana non-creature. Soul Ring? Cannot tithe it, unfortunately. Portable Hole. I, once again, cannot tithe it, sadly. Alright, unlucky. They did break out from my mana lock. Oh, we drew Kaldra. That's really bad. I wonder if Kaldra belongs in the deck, considering we only have Stoneforge to throw it into play. I'm just going to play this. Put pressure on, by the way. I think we need to. They Wrath of God me here. It's a little early. And then we could just play like a big boy after it. This is a real shame. This Mana Tithe is never going to do anything. Oof. Okay. Actually, ouch. This sucks. Okay. Really likes to keep. I can keep double red because of Glorybringer. Wow. And with his all our creatures, that's a good balance. Great start with library balance. Good, that's cool. Yeah, they did a good job answering like my Thalia at the beginning. Like I put them in a tough spot where they had to discard to hand size, but they found a way around it. They did have to discard like a trillion cards from their hand, so that's the silver lining for us. They'd go down to 3. Barrogoyf might solo us. I'm not gonna lie to you, family. We need to draw removal. That's not removal. Do I chump block? I think I chump block with the Sentinel. Like, I need to draw white removal ASAP. This card does, like, completely kill me. If it connects, they just start drawing cards. Oof. Okay, we're dead. We're dead. We're dead. We're dead. We're so dead. Alright. Good game, opponent. Alright, match 3. We did win the die roll with our aggro deck, which is fantastic. This is a pretty mid hand. Though pretty much drawing any card in our deck makes it good, right? We draw a cheap card, Sage of the Sky gets doubled. We draw an expensive card, you can cast it. Spellbinder for a little bit of disruption. I think this is fine. Not a great start, but I don't want to mulligan and get a worse six. I think sixes are going to be worse on average. All right, like even thought sees me. That's fine. -2. Ooh, light stall inquisitor. Okay, that's a cool one. Do I want to save that for doubling up my sage? Probably. It does mean I'm going really, really slow though. I'm losing out on damage to gain a little bit of damage equity in the future. However, this tax might surprise them better in the future. This is not a common constructed card. It's a cool one. It either makes a land enter tapped or tax them. I feel like most of the time when this card comes down on one, people just say, okay, I'll play a tap land at some point in the future, and it doesn't really affect them. But maybe now that they have less cards in hand, this puts them in a bind a little bit, and they have to exile a good card, something they needed to cast on curve. Probably not with like this extra mana. All right, Light Stall Inquisitor. Please do that, and then I copy. Unfortunately, we have drawn absolutely nothing. Sewers, yep. That feels bad. They just exile a tap land. Like that's life. I do get 6 power in play, which is pretty cool. Mary Lapse my Sage, that's really horrible, because it's just going to be a 2-3 next turn. That's not really what I wanted to draw. I wanted to draw a good card, like Glorybringer. There are a lot of good draws in my deck, though. We can almost hardcast Kaldra, which maybe I should take out when I sideboard. Maybe. Like, that card is just so hopeless without Stoneforge. Well, we've only played against, like, controlling decks today, too. Because we have a lot of sideboard cards for against creature decks, so a lot of removal that we can bring in. So I'd love to cut, like, Kaldra plus Stoneforge together for removal. Oh, also, that's an interesting hit with Skyclave. Oh, I guess this is a token, so they can't hit it. Very interesting. I'm just going to play out this Sage. So I have 2 flying threats that I do have to deal with eventually. I doubt they're going to cast Wrath of God since they just Skyclaved. But maybe we can win this. Okay, him, 2 lands. Fantastic. Give him a nice for that one. It's funny. I don't mean to be mean, guys. All right, we do have 4 power in the air that my opponent does have to deal with eventually. We're hellbent, but we do have good draws in our deck. We have all these 5 drops. Maybe that's an error in deck construction too. We have a couple 5 drops. So I very purposely like cut the Nova Hellkite and said I don't want to play an extra 5 drop, but maybe I should also cut another 5 drop or another 4 drop. Cut the Glorybringer. The Glorybringer is awesome. Or cut Beza, Gideon, Has. Batterskull Cauldron. Like, one of those probably has to go, to be honest. Maybe we'll cut it while sideboarding. We're in our 3rd game, so. Hey, what you doing with that mana, buckaroo? Slow down. Hey, stop. You do not need that much mana. Stop. Hey, buddy. Listen. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Oh, right. All permanents, including land. Sorry, I'm an arena zoomer. I forgot how messed up this card is. I was like, oh, bounce all non-land permanents? That's fine. I have 2 things in play. No, my lands go away too. Crap. But Upheaval's so fun. I want to draft an Upheaval deck. I drafted one in like the mock drafts we did fun on Discord. Oh man, this is so cool. Alright, so they Pentad Prism. Maybe they should have played Talisman instead. They probably still will, alright. Could they have gotten 2 counters if they did this the other way? Nah, I don't know. Okay. I have a 1-1. You are being hit by it. Bang. We can get lost them, which is good. So we can go after their talisman. That's sus. I don't want to go after their talisman. We'll probably go after their Skyclave once they remove one of my things. I anticipate the play pattern being like, I play this, they Skyclave it, I get lost it. And then the Skyclave tokens get there. This is a really interesting board state. And that's like what I love about this cube. It leads to really cool and interesting board states that don't happen in constructed very often. Also, they don't like have a reason to play Skyclave here. Beza will hopefully get us something. What will Beza get us? Dude, Beza will get us like nothing. They're gonna have less cards in hand than us. They're gonna have less creatures, less life, less what? Dude, they have less everything. Right? This checks treasure tokens for lands, life for life, Fish for creatures, cards for cards. They have less of everything 'cause they're doing the unbalanced of people thing, and then they're demonic tutoring for like recall or something, and we lose. GG, as they say. They probably do get blue card advantage if they have it. They have 7 in graveyard for Cruise. Same with Dig for time, Tick through time. They can cast both those cards. Cast recall. It wasn't an obvious grab, so curious what they did get. It probably wasn't something incredibly busted like that. I'm just gonna play my 3-drop here. I'm gonna saturate my mana. And I make them react to it, so they gotta use something like a Skyclave in order to do that. Maybe they play Skyclave in another creature and Beza does do something. Ooh, this card. This card is very good in aggro, right? Because you're emptying your hand and you're gonna draw 2. Coalition Relic, interesting. So what did they tutor for? Oh, this can grab Batter Skull, which I can hard cast. Would I prefer that? I would prefer that, I think, to casting Beza. Even though Beza's a nice 4/5. Actually, wait, Beza is a nice 4/5, but I get to keep up Go Lost, Get Lost, because they tutor for something, right? They're gonna cast something big here. They could have tutored for like a counter spell, but I don't believe they would do that. They also wouldn't tap out if they did that, right? Yeah, Batter Skull. I also grab Cauldron. Actually, if I'm getting close to 7 mana, do I just want Cauldron? Yeah, I just want Cauldron. I will be able to hardcast Cauldron eventually if they remove my Stoneforge, and this also puts pressure on them to remove the Stoneforge. Right, Urza's Saga, that might be what they tutored for. They're hovering whatever their unknown card in hand is. A Nettle Cyst, okay. Yeah, they probably tutored for one of these for like their win condition. I will get rid of the Nettle Cyst with my Get Lost, and then probably just murder them with this Cauldron. Oh, doesn't hit artifacts, right? Oh crap, it doesn't hit artifacts. It doesn't hit artifacts. It doesn't hit artifacts. So do I just want to get rid of the Skyclave then? Do I want to get rid of the Saga? I probably want to get rid of the Saga then. I get lost your Saga. Oust, oust, nice. So we can oust the Germ. I don't think that accomplishes anything actually. Because they would just re-equip Nettlecyst for 2 onto Skyclave. Yeah, that straight up accomplishes nothing. Okay. Fantastic. I want to be mana efficient, guys, but like, yeah, we're just gonna put Cauldron into play. Cauldron good. Cauldron is a very messed up card. First strike, and when it deals combat damage to something, exile it. So you cannot beat it in combat. They have to have a white exile removal to deal with this card. Funny they explore to maybe put a counter on this, but it also shrinks it. You draw land here, they get a nice surveil. It's good that they cleared the top of their top of their deck of 2 lands. Very useful to them. Make it 3. They drew 3 cards. That's Ancestral Recall right there, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, me when my opponent reads Stoneforge Mystic, I even hovered it to remind them. If they have swords here, I'm gonna be a bit upset. But at least we can re-equip Kaldra at 7. It's indestructible. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's indestructible. It's indestructible, bestie. This and this are both indestructible. Don't do it. Don't do it, bestie. Don't do it. Please. Game the card explains the card. Okay. Alright, they can re-equip the Nettle Cyst whenever they want. That's fine, but like eventually I will chew through all their stuff with this Cauldron. So what I can do is I can oust this. I want to get to a point where Beza draws me some cards, right? So I can do that if I do this. Bad decision. Yeah, they won't be able to really hit anything. And I'm gonna get more board pressure in the meantime anyway. I play Beza. Beza draws 2 cards. Oh, draw cards equal to the difference? Oh no, it only draws 1 card. Ooh, oh, you drew 2. I am very much gonna attack with all these though. Really want to try and get our opponent dead here. Okay, our opponent's gonna take full damage. Alright, this top card's got to be something good. I don't think Skyclave is enough to stabilize, even if it can take out, like, Beza. Yeah, 8-6, sure, buddy. Talisman of Indulgence, that is not it. That's a GG right there. Alright, sweet, let's get it. We might want a Portable Hole. Want our Portable Hole and our Thalia, I'm pretty sure. Portable Hole clears all this stuff. Portable Hole, does it clear Saga? How is Portable Hole worded? It's non-land permanent, right? Not artifact or enchantment. Prismatic Ending does clear it, though. Funny wording. What do we want? Yeah, how many creatures did we really see out of them? Just like the Skyclave? Yeah, they're not really a creature deck. They're like an Upheaval BS deck. We can take like the Stoneforge stuff out, even though it won that game. Yeah, like I mentioned before, we can take all that stuff out. We're gonna bring in Thalia, we're gonna bring in Pending to clear their like cheap little artifacts, and then we could bring in Mia. Or perhaps the Nova Hellkite. Let's do Mia. Alright, game 2. We got Mana Tithe in hand. We're gonna Mana Tithe this idiot. Pass. Yeah, buddy, don't play something that I have to Portable Hole. Come on. Just pass the turn. Please. For me. I mean, if they play a Soul Ring or something here, I'm obviously gonna Portable Hole it. Okay, they're taking their Surveil. Like, it's obviously optimal to do that on my turn, but like, whatever. Get your F6 value, King. Go off. So if I Mana Tithe here, I awkwardly don't have follow-up immediately. Okay. I'm not playing Mom. I'm gonna play Mana Tithe. My opponent does not know this is in my deck. Like, I'm very much gonna ding them whenever they decide to play. Okay, awkward. We only drew 1 white mana. I'm gonna take a look with Spellbinder then. We've gotten this far, and then I'm gonna get countered, and I'm gonna be mad about it. Okay. And then my opponent's gonna resolve a 4-drop, and then I'm gonna be like, why didn't I hold up the Mana Tithe? But I'm the aggro deck, and I do need to put a creature on the board at some point. Okay, Mana Tithe looking rather useless. However, I can resolve Gideon. Yeah. They could have like No More Lies or one of those really dorky counter spells. They don't. Okay. Good. Very good. Let's start just manufacturing creatures. And then we got a handful of stuff. These cards all do something. They really do something. They all got text on them, except Mana Tithe kind of fell off. Opponent reading Gideon Ally of Zendikar. Some of us are not familiar with Boomer Cube players. I've been cubing with this card since before you learned to play Magic, mister. It's a cool cube card. I always like playing with Gideon, especially when we get the fast mana in the deck and we get to slam him out on turn 2. Okay. Opponent is just happy to chill and pass. I could be plussing Gideon. In fact, that might be what I do. I think it's the fastest kill. Also allows me to emblem next turn, which I might be interested in doing. Upheaval again is the problem. If they upheaval again, like, how boned am I? Very worried about an upheaval. I can, to play most around upheaval, probably Portable Hole the Pentad Prism. That's just -2 mana, and if they break my Portable Hole lever, this just, like, never really does mana. And then I can just play Esper Sentinel, which is a 1 mana tax, pretty much the same as Mana Tithe. Like, Mana Tithe isn't actually going to get them, they have too much mana. So Sentinel is functionally the same. Alright, I smell an upheaval. I smell it. They don't really have enough mana to do it, though, right? Because they only have 6, 7 here? Uh-oh, I said it. I said the meme words. I said it accidentally. My bad. If they had the Pentad Prism, it would be a different story, because they actually could, like, replay both of their mana artifacts. Winds of Abaddon, you got it. Alright, I will very happily take 2 more planes. Okay, oh, and Italia. Okay, great. Fantastic, honestly. We don't need to get lost them. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this. I'm just going to plus Gideon and try to kill my opponent fast, because we do have lethal next turn if we attack with our Gideon here. And we got Mana Tithe ready to roll. Yeah, as a board wipe. Sure thing, bestie. Anything else? Bestie, bestie, bestie. Did they never play her on Mana Tithe? Oh, it's 2 wins for Mana Tithe and Hazard's here? It's so over. Alright. Get lost your thing. Oop, I can't get lost your thing. I can get lost my own Planeswalker. I like when Arena baits me. I saw I had a legal target for get lost, and I assumed I could hit their talisman. Sorry, obscure card. Oh, it's not that obscure. Niche card that I don't play with too often. It does hit Teferi, though. Okay, very cool opponent, but have you considered me getting Hellbent for Hazoret? Also, I could just, like, throw something at them for the win. So, like, I'm gonna do this. This is the style points win. All right, we went 2-1 with the deck. I think the main mistake I made with the draft is I got like a little greedy with drafting the mana. We had the opportunity to pick up the red-white duel as well as at least one white fetch that I remember seeing. So if we were proactive about that, we could have had much better mana because we did have a bit of mana trouble throughout this, unfortunately. And if we picked up those 2 cards, that's 2 more of every colored source, which would help us out quite a bit, especially considering we're trying to play Wasteland, we're trying to play... Well, this Petal's not bad. But we're trying to play the Sapphire and the Soul Ring. That's really taxing on the mana. But we did do a good job, like, drafting a lot of answers. That's the thing is we have all of these excess playables that maybe could have been lands. It's my only critique. But this is a fun cube. Mana Tithe popped off. This is the Mana Tithe show. I'm glad we sauced on some people with the Mana Tithe. I love this card. And it's super fun. Great. And red-white aggro is kind of broken in the cube. I didn't intend to do the broken deck on the first video. I just drafted whatever was good. This is the first BO3 I did. The cube just went live a couple hours ago. This is super fun. I will make videos like this very, very frequently for as long as the cube is on Arena because I think this is awesome and there's so many different decks that you could draft and I am nowhere close to playing through the whole cube myself. Still encountering new cards. Like that was sincerely my first time playing against Upheaval, right? So I'm looking forward to more Cube. See you guys in the next video.